What's the best team in the AFC? And I asked this after we all saw Buffalo struggle with Skylar Thompson and the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. It's Kansas City.
Got
Kansas City's the best team. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bengals at home could barely beat the Ravens.
Should
who
have
have
lost.
Tyler Huntley with a shoulder and a wrist problem. He's out there.
All
And they have
came
no
down
receivers.
to that one play at the goal line that should never have been called. Otherwise, they win.
Bengals, hugely overrated. Buffalo. Now, Buffalo, it was what, 20-17 at halftime. They wind up winning. They led by 3 at half, and they led by 3 at the end of the game. So, to me, and you're going up against Skylar Thompson, the third string quarterback, and you sacked him 4 times, and he had 2 picks, and you still only won by 3.
Yeah.
So, and Miami had no running game to speak of in that game. They had 2.1 a carry. By the way, all the people saying that Jeff Wilson, they shouldn't get rid of Jeff Wilson because McCaffrey for Wilson was a lateral move, or I don't know. Jeff Wilson had 10 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown, 2-3.
Well, I do think Miami has some issues on their offensive line.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. And in this game, I believe they had 2 of their starting offensive linemen who did not play at the last second.
Yeah.
So I think your
and
point
still,
is
it was a 3-point game somehow. Buffalo, we're looking at you. So what the hell is going on, Sean McDermott?
Yeah,
they had a good defense.
I think Buffalo. First of all, I'm not in love with any of Buffalo's runners. Devin Singletary, James Cook,
True.
Josh Allen is probably the biggest runner that I'm worried about. They do have good receivers: Diggs, Davis, the rookie out of Boise, Shakir. Cole Beasley's now back, and he scored a touchdown this week. Dawson Knox is kind of underrated.
Yeah.
But I think defensively, they're not the same team they were early in the year. I don't see an awesome Buffalo defense. I saw awesome Buffalo defense at the beginning of the year, but not as much right now.
Yeah, I think this is definitely it really feels like Kansas City Niners. Again.
Yeah.
Unless something unexpected like Jacksonville or the Giants. Those feel like the 2 live dogs right now. Jacksonville and the Giants, because they're Doug Peterson's a champion, and Trevor Lawrence is really good. It looks like he's the truth. And then Daniel Jones seems like he can do a lot of what Trevor Lawrence can do, if not all of it. And he's got a good coach too. Those teams seem really interesting. I don't know about the Eagles. It seems like they peaked a couple months ago, and the Bills too. Bills and Eagles looking a little suspect right now.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones reminds me a little bit of Alex Smith under Harbaugh. It's like he sat there, he got criticized, everybody kind of put him away as nothing. I mean, the Giants did not pick up his 5th-year option, right? So he's right.
That's true.
And so they kind of told you how they felt about him. But they brought him back this year, and now Dable has gotten him to the point where he's a weapon, with the legs and with the arm. We'll see what he does in Philly against a much better
How
defense.
good do you think Daniel Jones is? I know we're talking AFC right now, but let's go to Daniel
Jones
for a second. Is
he
he better than Geno?
Oh, he's definitely better than Geno.
I would agree. Is he better than Jared Goff?
He is, because Jared Goff gives you no running ability. Daniel Jones, he's 6'3", 225, and if you give him a lane, he will run, and he will take it.
Yeah, he ran for like 78 yards in the last game, right?
Yeah.
He's good. He's better than Jimmy. I mean, if he hits the free agent market, he could be the top quarterback. I don't know who's out there, but he could be up there. Brady is. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But
Brady and then Jimmy are the top 2 guys.
What's interesting about this whole playoff thing is, let's say Brady loses tonight. Every single quarterback in the final 8 in their 20s. Every single one. I think it's interesting. To me.
Well, it's a changing of the guard.
I think so.
I mean, these great quarterbacks, Brady's great, but he's old. He's 46.
Yep.
46.
The younger guys are better athletes, tend to be cheaper, have better teams around them, and it's an interesting change of the guard and a different trend. I wonder if guys like Daniel Jones are going to be prioritized because they're young and mobile. And I don't know, maybe he's going to go on
young, mobile, athletic, smart. I'll tell you this, though, the one thing that fried my bacon a little bit, Dan Orlovsky of ESPN puts out a quarterback rankings list going into the playoffs. He had Brock Purdy 13th on the list. And when he was asked about it, he's like, well, I haven't seen enough of him.
Oh, that's
Bro,
disrespectful.
You work for ESPN. If you and the guy's played
Yeah.
7 starts and he played 3 preseason games, and this is your job. You don't cover
Yeah.
baseball, you don't cover hockey, you don't know shit about the NBA. So
Who said this?
you're an NFL specialist.
Who said
and Brock
this?
Purdy's played almost Dan Orlovsky.
Oh my god.
He said Brock Purdy's played almost half a year. He's been
Yeah.
on national TV. He said, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen enough. Then
It's a
don't put
cop-out
out a
answer.
list.